98 Ram with a 5.9 24 valve Cummins doing the in-tank fuel pump conversion. Now, if you look, this is the kit from Dodge. Those are the part numbers for your first part number would be 98 to 2000, and the next one, of course, 01 to 02. Well, anyways, they discontinued the one that works for this truck, the 1998 to 2000, and I didn't know that. I bought this kit, and now I'm just like, well, what's the difference? And apparently the only difference I can find is the harness here. Now it's got the same part number for the harness, but you see the or, and it says, you know, for 98 to 2000, 98 to 2000. One of these should be a different part number with the different year models listed, I'm pretty sure. The only difference is where you connect on the wiring, which I'll show later. The pin is going to be probably a different pin where it's going to plug in. But anyways, I was really concerned if the pump was the right one. Now the pump, this is the one that came with the it is this part number. This part number here is this kit. This kit has this part number for the fuel pump, which you can't even find on eBay. The 051742128B. You can't find that, so I'm assuming that that part number is special for this pump, being that it's included in the kit. Maybe, I'm not sure, because I can't even find this one for sale individually. So I just wanted to make sure that this pump was going to work in this truck, and I did some research, and the Delphi pump that they sell for this truck, where it has the in-tank conversion, is the same part number for this 98 model as it is for the 02 model. But then you go to some other brands, I think Master Pro and whatnot, and theirs only goes from like 99 to 02. I think the reason why they don't go back to 98 is because they don't want to get it mixed up with the 12 valve truck, so they just put the year model as from 99 to 02. But anyways, I just wanted to make sure it'd work, and as you can see, the pumps are the same height. This one is made for a 34-gallon tank, I believe. No. The Precision was, or whatnot. But anyways, they're the same height here. I looked at this truck, and this truck has the 34-gallon tank, and I wanted to make sure the float was going to work with the instrument cluster, and I had just tested that, and it does work from full, half, and empty. I take that back. This is a 35-gallon fuel tank for this model. The tank itself is very easy to drop. You just have your filler neck here, and then your large vent hose, and then of course everything that's connected to the pump, nothing else. And everything, this is the cabin chassis. I was easily able to get it above the driver's side frame rail, disconnect everything, and then drop the tank straight down, leaving the drive shaft in place. And anyways, this connector here at the fuel pump, this is from the dealer. You don't have to change this. This is already pre-wired from Dodge, even on these early trucks, to send the power and the ground to the fuel pump. All your wiring modifications I'll show later are up in the front. So this is the billet block that replaces the fuel pump on the side of the block. It's just straight through design, and it comes with new hardware and new seals for your banjo bolts. Removing the old pump offside block is very easy. The instructions once you to remove the starter, absolutely not required. You just have this one electrical connector, two 16mm head banjo bolts, 3 nuts here, and then there's one bolt that holds this bracket on. That's it. Now if you'll see, the original pump here has these like studs in there, and the new one comes with these studs. The studs go into the billet block, then it goes through the bracket on the engine, and the nuts hold it down. And that's to keep the center line, because I thought that would be wrong, that you don't even need the nuts. But the reason why you want to do it this way is that way when it's lined up with how the old one was, the center line is the same on your fuel fittings. So this is the conversion wiring harness. We have a simple relay, and it's just got 3 separate wires coming down. We have our red wire that goes to an inline fuse holder with an eyelet. They want you to attach that to the positive side of the battery. And then this is the signal to the pump, where I'll show you where to put it in the connector. And then you have a Deutsch connector that goes, this is where you plug this in where the original fuel pump plug was. So on the side of the block. So this is the electrical connector. We're underneath the driver's side of the truck here, right behind the front fender liner. It's going to be this bottom connector. As you can see, it's the dark green and with black stripe wire here. It goes in on right there, the connector. And on the connector from the truck side, you see there's no wire that goes into that pin slot number 8. So it wants you to push the new wire into the back of this connector so it plug into there. The problem is this wire, the pin is too large for because this is for the later model and this is the 98 model. So in this case, I'm just going to wire it directly with the butt connector to the back. So the relay, I mounted it to the firewall here with a M6 riv nut in the corner. Then the harness goes underneath the body harness. The red wire that goes to your battery, I ended up hooking it up to the stud in the fuse block. Go ahead and wrap the red wire with some loom. It does not come with loom, but this fits just perfect. There's no extra wire. Routes up real nice and clean to the relay, and then the Deutsch connector come behind the wires. Come up, lift this flap up and tie it to your harness here. Drop it down, zip tie it to the little harness, plug in to the factory plug. Perfect length for that. And then the other one there, you're just going to run it down to your to that connector I showed you earlier. So after the new pump was installed, I had to crank it for a very long time to get this thing to start. Might consider cracking an injector line at the injector, but you don't have to as long as you crank it for long enough. Right now the pump's still running. As you can see, we're about 9 psi. Turn the key on, it will not energize the pump yet, but when you bump the starter, then it will run, and as we can see, we are producing about 15 psi fuel pressure. This is, of course, with a brand new Mopar fuel pump. And I also want to say, when you're cranking it, it actually does not run the pump, which is why when you keep cranking it to try to get it to start, the fuel pressure starts dropping. So it's best to cycle the key back off, bump the starter again, and let the pump run, and then keep cranking, or else you'll be cranking with close to 0 pounds of pressure.